Hey everyone, this is Emerald Rose with my reaction to My Hero Academia chapter 210. Sorry, this is a day late. I was sick Monday, and now I have the new Shonen Jump setup to go through, which means that it's free for everyone. So I'm actually going to be keeping the links into these actual chapters in my videos. So if you get it within 3 weeks, you can read along with me for all you want. Without further ado, here's chapter 209, or number 210, The One for All Dream. Okay. Alright, so All Might. Thanks for the quick response, but I'm actually observing a class now. You wanted to know if Shimura ever mentioned dreaming about One for All, right? Oh, All Might. Not being around the bush, huh? Gran Torino? Well, you asked, and I just happened to remember something. No, my old mind ain't what it used to be, so listen up, but don't expect much. Alright, we can't communicate freely if we run into the enemy. This is Deku's inner monologue. First, I gotta locate them and gain the advantage. But I'm still a little. Excuse me. I'm still a little uneasy about all that One for All stuff. So that seems to be the theme of this week, all for one stuff. I have to make sure to avoid Shinzo's brainwashing no matter what. Ida. Midoriya's team formation bears a strong resemblance to Bakugo's team in match 4. They have a similar makeup too, says Zero. But they don't have a Jiro type on their side. Jiro raises her hand saying that's me. They gotta be even more careful than we were unless they want to get wrecked. Jiro, that's true. If their strategy involves luring them out, then Bakugo, Midoriya, or no, this is Jiro continuing Bakugo in the panel. Midoriya will have to work even harder than Bakugo. Okay, so they're using hand signals to communicate behind him. Or Midoriya is using hand signals to communicate to the other three behind him. He's jumping around, doing his parkour. Oh god, I quoted Rick and Morty. This is what this channel's devolved into. Because of my speed, Class B can't afford to ignore me. They'll have me in their sights, so I'll bait them into revealing themselves when they attack me. Okay, so like a cylinder's coming towards them, or a steel canister. Then the four of us can link up and take them down. That must be Yanagi. Here we go. Uraka. And there's Monoma just standing there, crook-headed. Huh? Did you spot me? After observing Bakugo's performance, we'd be fools to take you lightly. What's he have in his hand? Is that... Looks like his pocket watches, or has like some sort of chain or leash or something that we'd use for binding. It's Monoma. It's only natural to be on guard against someone as strong and agile as you. The clever among us realize that much. On the other hand, someone truly clever might also think, what if it were the other three who amplified Bakugo's strength? That crushing them would have take priority. You're such a showman, you've gone out of your way to reveal yourself, yes? Midoriya's inner monologue, he's trying to rile me up. Could it be that he's copied Shinzo's brainwashing already? Meanwhile, I expect my allies have already located yours. It'll be 3 against 4. How will your team fare? With Shinzo in the mix, they can't communicate freely. I suppose you'd better race back to check on your friends. What? What if that scream just now was Shinzo's mimicking a voice? Oh, yeah, because persona chords. That would be an interesting tactic, because normally he only used it to capture people during conflict. He hasn't done anything to lure people yet. What if your 3 friends are still hidden, but you end up leading us right to them? Haha, he's laughing at him. I'm afraid there's no easy answer. Midoriya cheers after, charges after him. Okay, now I'm looking at the top panel. It does look like it's his pocket watches. Because in the next panel, after Deku's lunging after him, Monoma snaps something back into his belt. And he typically had his watches that I think are for timing his copy borrow powered. Or timing the powers that he's copied. Do you have no regard for your friend's potential plight? That's cold. He'll be watching me closely for any signs. I have to be careful. I had a little chat with Shinzo. The gifted will break this world. Tell me, your pal Bakugo, how is it that he can still smile without a care? When he's the one who brought about the symbol of peace's downfall. Yeah, Monoma's really an asshole. He knows how to get into people's heads. And be agitating. A few seconds earlier, that shout must have been Shinzo. They're close. Oh, so it actually was Shinzo lowering them. That wasn't Uraraka. Kind of funny to picture that shriek coming from such a calm guy. Hey, we gotta look at each other's faces when talking. We gotta bite. Oh, because they made some sort of... I guess just a tripwire. It doesn't seem to be working as a fishing lure or as any other kind of trap. But all this debris is coming towards them. Pinky, because I forget her actual name, uses an acid veil. They vanish. Are they blocking it? Or maybe it's a trap? Okay, here's that guy who bowed out of the school festival with Ojiro. It's Yanagi's poltergeist. Is she even aiming? Okay, they're all attacked. And it looks like... Okay, so... Looking down, release... It's Kodai's size quirk. Okay, so she's a size manipulator. Uraraka's moving around, hitting everything to break its gravity, but then the guy who bowed out goes twin impact, fire, and it looks like he's able to make random impacts to places. Yeah, and now everything's floating with zero gravity. We've got a decent idea of what direction they're in now. Let's launch a second attack while they're still in the dark. Rikyo Yanagi. I really am still sick. Quirk, poltergeist. She can manipulate nearby objects, but no more than the total weight of a single person. And the next girl, Kodai, quirk size. She can alter the size of whatever she touches, but it doesn't work on living things. I've always wondered if that's actually a distinction between, like, organic matter and not living matter. Like, living is in cell organisms. Because can she do it to anything that's made of wood? Can she do it to corpses? Like, what's that kind of ruling on living things? Does it have to be still living for it? And that's my aside, I guess. Nenren, Geki, Shoda, quirk, twin impact. After striking an object, he can activate a second strike remotely. That second hit will have a ton more oomph to it. Okay, so he has an ability to delay impact, or to trigger like a impact dial onto something. Like, not an impact dial, a remote impact that's like a mine set to whatever he hits. So we can randomly cause it. That power... I'm trying to think how that power really works. This situation is good because he's able to redirect projectiles or to re-trigger a projectile's momentum, but other than that, he would have to have his own projectiles, or he would have to be a fist fighter to trigger a second random impact after landing consecutive blows. That was crazy. They probably just got our location now. But what about Deku? And now we're heading back to All Might and Gran Torino's call. Sorry to say, this probably ain't what you want to hear. Oh, What did Master tell you? It wasn't long after she inherited One for All. Like always, we were out on patrol, just chatting. Okay, shit's happening. Shit's happening. Throb is the onomatopoeia going on, huh? Get this, Gran Torino. I had the weirdest dream last night. There was a man standing there, all shrouded in black smoke. He spoke to me and said, "It's not time yet." And call me Alexander Graham Bell, because I called that. I called in my 209 that after All for One's random talk that this fight would actually divulge into shit happening with Deku's quirk. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. There's not enough of you to really stir up a mob, but I did call that. Next chapter hits December 21st. Okay, they're actually giving timetables now. I think I saw that when pulling up this chapter, that they're showing schedules instead of to be continued next week or to be shown in the such and such, or like the 51st edition. And that's My Hero Academia chapter... My Hero Academia chapter 210. So my guess is either Deku gets another power attached to All for One now, or he can't use it at all for some reason, or it's overblown now because his arm seems to either be expanding or his equipment's breaking off of it, or I don't know what the smoke is. But again, the tagline of One for All was everyone's quirk gets coalesced, or everyone's powers get coalesced and passed on to the next person. And although All Might was quirkless, it'd be weird to assume that every single one of the inheritors have been quirkless. So either this black stuff is Deku's lightning or whatever effect changing color, or it's a secondary power finally manifesting itself. Or actually, it could be, because I've had this kind of thought, what if the way that All Might uses, like, when he charges up, like, we saw that kind of effect when in the anime for his All for One fight, where, you know, his yellow lightning is moving around his body. What if that's actually electrical impulse is a different quirk than strength augmentation or the blast punching, and he uses it to either increase his reaction time or to stimulate his muscle growth, or a third option that I haven't thought of because again I'm just thinking of this off the top of my head right now. But yeah, other than that, looks like shit's gonna hit the wall. Like this doesn't seem like it's gonna be a fair fight to Class B. They're having the first, encounter wins, but it looks like that's only because they got the drop. Unless Shinzo plays a bigger role, or if Deku's plot, if Deku's plot, like it's a separate plot, completely ruins the game, then I think Class A still has the advantage here, especially since Monoma, if he's using all of their powers at the same time and he doesn't have a control over time duration, he only has 5 minutes to fight Deku, and then that's it. Alright, there's my thoughts on Chapter 210. Hope you enjoyed, hope anyone watched it, and as always, have a good time. This is Emerald Rose. See ya.